One of the primary ways teachers communicate with parents is email. And for order for that to be effective, there has to be a certain way to do it. When you're writing the email, number one, make sure you have the right name because sometimes students and parents have different last names. Then you want to get into it. So you want to A, tell them the problem. B, tell them what you have done in the classroom. Now, this is important. If they have an IEP or a 504, tell them what you did in that IEP or 504 to help solve the current problem and why it didn't work. And C, ask them for help. Now, it could be simply as a motivational factor, like a kick in the pants, or it could be something more, more severe, such as, they have to tutor them at home or find somebody, an outside source. But depending on what the problem is, you want to tell them what you think they can do to help. And then you go ahead and you track it. You usually have a tracking document. So, but now here's the problem. You went through all that. The kid comes in. You do extra work with the kid. The parent does extra work with the kid. The behavior hasn't changed. They're still doing the same thing over and over again. So then you have to send a second email. And it's important that you do send follow-up emails to let the parent know what is going on. But here's a shocker, folks. I know we all want things solved immediately. And as a teacher, it's great when it does. But a lot of times it takes sometimes a few weeks to a few months or even longer for a behavior to change. Sometimes as much as that parent does at home, as much as we do with, what they talk to the counselor and a group of teachers talk to them, have all these interventions, sometimes it just doesn't work. So that's why you want to make sure you want to track it. Now, here's the other thing you want to consider. Maybe that child who may not be classified, maybe they need a classification. Maybe the parent has to take them to a doctor to figure something out. So maybe you're helping uncover a problem that maybe wasn't discovered quite yet. So that is why communication with parents is very, very important. And email is very, very important. Now, if things get more severe and there are bigger problems, sometimes you're going to need to actually have either a phone conversation or a one-on-one meeting or a group meeting if you're going to deal with the school officials, depending on what the issue is. But that's what you want to look at. So, and it is frustrating. As a teacher, we all like things to get solved at once, but be ready for it not to be solved. Be ready for this to be a process. Because remember, for us as teachers, it took a while for us to learn our craft and develop our own teaching procedures to see what worked and what did not work. And it's the same way for students. It may take a while for them to figure out what works and what doesn't work for them. Keep plugging away. You got this.